I know many of y'all done heard of The Best Man, the movie. That was such a great movie. I like it anyway. But I read something today that kind of gave me a Bible version of The Best Man. It's not quite the same, but it is. So listen and I'll tell you where to tune into. Judges 13 through 16. You can read it all for yourself later, but I'm going to be paraphrasing and tell you how I feel. I remember Samson. He had a mama who was not named, but his daddy was Manoah. This is Tanja. Let me start over. I'm just coming at you with another nugget. It's just my 2 cents for change. But this one is about the best man. And it was really, they called them companions, which can equate to his friend, so to speak. But anyway, Samson was born because his mama didn't have no children. Sure didn't. And when the angel of the Lord told her that she was going to have some, there were some requirements, you know. And so one of the major things that we all know about is his locks on his head. You can't cut his hair. And so she said, all right, I got you. I want a baby, you know, because he already told me he's going to have a son. So anyway, Samson grew up, did the things that his mom told him to do. So then he went to a place that where the Philistines were, and this was all of God's planning. You know, you got to remember that God set stuff up too, y'all. Don't just blame everything on the devil. But anyway, so he wanted to marry this Philistine woman. His mom's like, you can't get nobody in our, you know, around here, you know, our peeps. So anyway, they went on down. And in the midst of going down, of course, he killed a lion. And when he went back and to get his parents, of course, and came back, the bees had done, you know, came and created honey, and he dipped the honey and gave some to his mom and dad. But he didn't tell them he did it, because remember, one of the requirements also was not eating, you know, eat anything, any dead thing. He went down, married the woman and all that. They had this feast. And so, you know, I'm sure they were drinking. But anyway, I'm paraphrasing, like I said, doing what they do. And then the equivalent of the movie The Best Man is his bachelor party. So because he was down there doing it and had this little riddle and everything going, people was mad, like, we can't figure this out. 3 days we in, can't figure it out. I need you to go do your thing. And you know, women, we got some power. We don't understand the power we got. We can be very manipulative. We can do a lot of stuff and get a guy to do whatever if we're that right female, if you know how to carry it out. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. So they couldn't figure it out. So she finally, you know, just, no, help me, you know, everybody know I don't know. You know how we pour it on, you know, crying and acting all whatever. So finally he told her, she went back and told them, and he was pissed. You know, like I said, I'm paraphrasing, but he was pissed and, you know, started tearing up some stuff, you know. And so they were like, well, you know, who is this person that did this? You know, because it's like, why is he doing all this kind of stuff? And then he started killing people and, you know, just doing stuff. So finally, when they realized, after he got through doing that after the feast, well, he didn't start killing right away. He just started taking some of the stuff from their livelihood, killing, you know, the animals and the food, their food supply, so to speak. And so they got pissed and stuff. And so then after, you know, they knew they couldn't take him or whatever. So then they was asking who did this, and they was like, you know, Samson, basically, you know, trying to set him up and everything. But then they also found out what he did. When he went back to go, you know, after he got through having a good time and all this kind of stuff, he went back to be with his wife, and her daddy wouldn't let him. Now, this man married a woman already, but he wouldn't let him go to his wife. Tell me, don't you want her, I gave her to your friend, your companion. That's like the best man, but they didn't tell her. You know, they didn't tell her that happened years before they did it on their own. But how you gonna feel, you get married, you having a feast, and your father-in-law gives your wife to somebody else? Ain't that something? He was pissed and everything. They couldn't control him. They couldn't do nothing to him. So, you know, after a while, he went and had sex with a prostitute. They call them harlots, but a prostitute or whatever. And then he ran into that old Delilah. Actually, in between all that, he ruled for like 20 years. So, you know, he had a special anointing on him as long as he did what he's supposed to do. But, you know, sometimes in the midst of all of that, just like when he wasn't supposed to eat nothing from anything dead, He did. He got that honey out of that. That's why he didn't tell his mom and daddy, because he knew he wasn't supposed to do it. So in the midst of it, just like in The Best Man, he was out there hoeing around doing what he's doing as a superstar NFL player. And then his so-called virgin woman, you know, doing something with somebody that, you know, she was just trying to get revenge back. And they kept it a secret. And then when it finally came out, when he put it in a book, and like now, Samson thing is in a book, it's in the Bible, showing you that when you put things out there like that, it's bound to have some consequences.